And we take a little time in meditation and opening up here to what is here, what you're coming with, how you're feeling. Today's lesson in the course is so powerful. The light has come, and it's about vision. It's about true seeing. It's saying there, wait patiently for the experience. And we can just do that now together.
You can just let yourself settle into the present moment. The present moment is calling you. Are you willing to listen? Sometimes the present moment is a feeling of peace. Sometimes it reveals something that's not peaceful, something that needs attention within us. And in this space, we can give it that attention. We can let it come forward to be seen and healed. We can simply let it be.
We are here to give all our thoughts to the Holy Spirit. Give all our thoughts. Jesus says in practicing the Holy Instant that the necessary condition for the Holy Instant doesn't require that you have no thoughts that are not pure. But it does require that you have none that you would keep. So he's saying we want to give all thoughts to the Holy Spirit. That we don't want to keep any thoughts to ourselves. That's the necessary condition. We can't force ourselves maybe to have no thoughts that are not pure. Perhaps there's still grievances or some attack thoughts. So the necessary condition is to be willing to give them all up. Innocence is not of your making. It is given to you the instant you would have it. So he's saying again, try not to protect the thoughts that you would keep to yourself. Let the Holy Spirit's purity shine them away and bring all your awareness to the readiness for purity that He offers you. That sounds very effortless. To let the Holy Spirit's purity shine away our meaningless thoughts, or our fearful thoughts, or our littleness thoughts. A nice practice. It's a humbling journey to constantly give over our plans and our beliefs about ourselves. It's humbling, and it's also freeing. Just make ourselves available, open to be cleansed. So does anyone have anything you'd like to explore today? We can come back to the room and see if something is up in the mind.
Yeah, I had this sudden feeling of grief that came up while we were doing the meditation over my younger son.
It's okay to let this up.
Reached out to him a couple of times to get together for a meal, and he's not replied. And I know for myself that I feel this hesitation even in extending, because I don't know what kind of backlash I'm going to get from him. And now I haven't heard from him for probably not been that long, but maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks, and nobody else in the family that I'm aware of has heard from him either. And so on the one hand, there's this relief that I'm not getting all these attack comments from him in anger. But then there's just still this longing in me to connect with him in a peaceful way, to have a good relationship, and it just doesn't, he's not ready for that. So with the lesson today, I feel this conflict because on the one hand, the idea of, the light of the world is calming and peaceful, and then he comes to mind, and he's feeling anything but light of the world, and so unhappy and angry with his life and himself and whatever else, and I don't feel like I deserve to be fully able to sink into that lesson, because how can I when he's feeling what he's feeling?
Well,
So it comes up for me.
That's a good conclusion to take a look at. That you wouldn't be worthy to sink into that lesson because of how he feels. It sounds like a classic example of false empathy.
Yeah. And I know too that there's some guilt that comes in, feeling that I'm somehow partially responsible for how he feels at this point in his life.
Yeah, and they go together. You believe you're personally responsible. Comes with, you believe you can't be happy because of what he is feeling.
I can logically tell myself all of that, but getting myself to that place of feeling it sometimes comes in, and this just isn't one of those times. So just more for me to let go around it.
Yeah.
I mean, it just took me by surprise because I really haven't been thinking about him today at this moment. So.
I just want to say how loving you are, how beautifully loving you are, extending these invitations for him to join with you. That's beautiful. That's just loving, and that's just, very clear, and you're so worthy to be in that love that you're extending to him.
It's helpful to get the reminder.
Yeah. Yeah. And then there is nothing to fix. Anything that is extended is also received. The instant that it is extended, it is received. And you just keep allowing this extending. That's all. The Holy Spirit doesn't look to effects, doesn't look to how it lands or where it lands. The Holy Spirit knows it lands. It's received because it's truly given. And then we're not here to judge the form.
Thanks, Jenny. That's really helpful. Yeah. It's so easy to get caught up in it. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. It feels holy, it feels sacred even to join in this, you know. Now you didn't keep those thoughts to yourself, share them with us, but mainly you've shared them with the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
So he's really put on the altar, you know, your son. Yeah, it's good. It's like we're all doing our best, you know, you're doing your best. And it's just some guilt that come up in this form of being projected onto this situation or this person who seems to be your son. So it is a healing process to let this guilt move through, be released. And if we have recurring issues with someone or something, it can be a frequent process or frequent processing of it. To come back to, oh no, I need to release this guilt, you know, when the thoughts come back, the worry and the responsibility. Just to say, oh, I got hooked again. Get hooked on something, not something that is not holy, something that is not worthy of my mind. I think that's all this journey is about. It's to find out where we get hooked on what is unworthy of our mind, what is unworthy of love, and release it. Drop it. Anyone else?
Yeah, I was just thinking that I might need to give the new bike I bought yesterday to the Holy Spirit, because I can see it. It feels like, you know, even going there yesterday, there was a lot of anxiety out, but we went through it and there was a lot of miracles coming in and it was really beautiful. And it feels like this backlash after, and I can see a lot of anxiety comes up. I didn't sleep much last night and couldn't even say like there was specific thoughts. It was just this underlying anxiety up, I think. And yes, when you were on the phone after I headed for a short ride here today, I can see that there is this is such a pattern, this fear that there's something wrong and something has to be wrong. You know, it can't be okay. Yeah, so it somehow feels like feeling this this joy I felt when we got there and I tried it, and it just felt so flowing and so joyful, and with her and everything. I just I just wrote a Facebook post to share about what happened yesterday. And even after that, and after posting it, I could feel it again. Oh, it just feels like such a backlash coming in. Looking at this, and then just, yeah, all this unworthiness and fear and anxiety. And what if I got it totally wrong?
Yeah, the ego likes these backlash opportunities. The ego wants to give you a big backlash when you have been happy.
Yeah.
And it's grim.
Yeah. Just like, almost like this belief in kind of punishment or something, you know. Yeah. But it feels good to just keep sharing about it. But it is really, I can feel it brings up so enormous anxiety to do that. Yeah.
No, it feels good when you talk about it. Like joining makes it not so strong, or makes it even go away.
Yeah. Yeah, I do feel that. And in the past, this was something I never, ever told anyone about. So it seems clear that that's the only way through somehow.
Yeah.
Just keep repeating it every time it comes up.
Yeah, it's the personal responsibility. It's similar to Susan's personal responsibility for anything, you know, like even purchasing the bike.
Yeah.
As if you personally made the decision and now it could have gone wrong. Maybe it's something wrong, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I can see, I can put anything instead of the bike, you know. It's like, it's just what's up right now. And tomorrow it could be something else, but it's the same. It's exactly the same thing.
It's the trick of personal perspective. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you too.
It's like you can't have buyer's remorse if you start realizing you're not a person. You know, you have to be a buyer to have buyer's remorse. But as you move into trusting spirit and everything, that's just a flow that happens. And it sounds like you really were in the flow yesterday. Then you can always trust that.
I didn't know it was even a concept, buyer's remorse.
Yeah, a lot of people have that.
It's so freeing to release personal responsibility in each little thing, each thought, each thing you do, because the personal responsibility, personal perspective, that's what brings guilt, because it's a separate self then. And there's so much doubt in the separate self, in the split mind. But to really connect with the Holy Spirit, to really enjoy that, to really allow that, and release this stressful personal perspective. It's a delight. It's what we are called to see, feel this innocence, you know. I think a lot of guilt is projected onto what we do and to choices. choices inform a lot. And what we should have done, what we shouldn't have done. Yeah. The ego that's the ego's way of keeping our minds to himself. I don't know if it's a him or it, but
You can't have me, ego. No.
you're not the ego. I'm not the ego. I'm innocent. Can keep saying that. And just to open our minds to spirits, open our minds, being willing. That's all that's required. How could you put pressure? I think you could do more than that. The Holy Spirit does the rest. That's also beautiful. Feels so good. Feels so good to open to this idea of releasing the personal. And just let it flow. Be spontaneous. Be allowing. This joy. And I think of you, Susan James, and I think of this spontaneous joy. Dancing, having fun, jokes a lot of times. Yes. Yeah. Just to be allowing. Yeah, you want to share?
So I'm so grateful to be here with you all. Thank you so much, Jenny and Barrett. Yeah, I mean, just to speak to the meditation, what I just heard, I have, and Jenny knows, I have seemingly a beautiful daughter who came to mind this morning after meditating on the lesson. Like Solaris, like in that film, she is a psychologist who doesn't believe in God. And she's my seeming mind creation to seem to play out the ego, because she likes to let me know what a terrible mother I was. And she doesn't understand that I'm so happy. And I love her. And there are times when I really would love for her just to allow us to, you know, be one, like just celebrate. And once in a while, the Holy Spirit surprises me. Like she came in for my birthday. She lived here for a year, actually, and recently got a job close to me. It's a perfect job for her. But then the seeming ego sneaks, it feels like that ego backlash where she lets me know, oh no, you know, we have to be distant. You're insane. And this is a child who grew up with the Course in Miracles, like I had it with me all the time. So, you know, I just want to put on the altar, I want to expose that sometimes there's sadness that comes up, because I would love for her to join me in this, but there is really no Stephanie. I mean, that's been pointed out, it's here, you know. So this meditation and your expressions were so helpful to remind me, you know, what's real. Yeah. And it doesn't take away my love or my invitation to her. But that spontaneity and the joy comes when I'm just focused on the Holy Spirit. Like yesterday, being in the supermarket, walking around, we had 30 inches of snow here, and I was able to get out and go to the market. And I was so happy. I knew I'm just like there with the Holy Spirit, there with Jesus, you know. And then I felt like, whoa, this isn't even real. I'm just, you know, going to have fun. Like I could see being with Jenny, you know, just having fun. And then I hear the music of George Harrison, you know, singing, give me peace on earth, you know, everything about love and peace. And
Oh, that's lovely.
anyway, brought back to that joy. Yeah, but I do want to expose everything having to do with Stephanie. You know, she was on my mind this morning. Yeah, after meditating on the lesson. That's it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great.
I love you so much.
Oh, love you too.
May I just share one quick thing too? On my screen, the Awaken to Love, there's a light going right through to Christian, I believe. And there's one light going through the screen down to Dirk. I mean, like, I thought, oh, are we all, you know, so yeah, we're all connected. It's just something I'm seeing. Fun.
This beam and a little light here,
Oh, wow.
right down to Dirk. That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's cool. They look different on our screen.
I'll arrange it, see if we can see it.
Oh, yeah. That's cool. Oh. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, the ego likes to get us, you know, and there is this favorite guilt lump or whatever you should call it, or a person that where the attraction to guilt comes in. Yeah. And that I'm not worthy to be happy because of them, because, you know, whatever the relationship is not pure or clear. That's just the ego's way of trying. It's so similar, you know. Anna has shared too about her daughter saying like, you're a bitch or something to Anna because she's into the course and into spiritual community. I don't know, Anna, what your daughter said, but something like that. I think it's, yeah, and both you, Susan and Susan, similar experiences. So we put these kids on the altar. Amen.
And now you have a new expression. So, you know, when you were cradling them in your arms, you'd say, oh, you're my favorite little guilt lump. You didn't know. You just didn't know.
We'll transcend that.
Yeah, but they're not really guilt lumps. No. They just seem to be.
Yeah, we people the world with our thoughts. And they're just thoughts, and we just need to release them. Like we read, just release the thoughts, not keep them private. Because when we keep those roles, it's a private thing, it's a private matter, you know, that you have those children, but you don't really. need to release the role, release the idea that you are a mother or a father.
Or a daughter or a son, brother, sister, whichever one, all of those maybe. Let them all go.
Let them all go. That reminds me of a beautiful part in the Course. It's like a poem. Yeah, your little, so these private relationships are little senseless substitutions. So Jesus calls them. And let them all go, dancing in the wind, dipping and turning till they disappear from sight, far, far outside of you. And turn you to the stately calm within, where in holy stillness dwells the living God you never left, and who never left you. This is about doubt thoughts, the twisted forms of the original error. Anyone else want to share? Bring up anything? Private thoughts you would like to release?
I just feel very unwilling. And it feels so strong. I feel like leaving the meeting. I'm really praying, like, just help me with a little bit of willingness. I feel unsafe. I keep feeling so unsafe. Uncared for. The whole topic of personal responsibility just makes me feel like screaming. I didn't want to share, but I knew it had to.
It's good. It's good to just talk about these feelings.
It feels like in this fear, everything's impossible. Even trying to find the willingness.
Yeah. How should we try to find it together? See what's come on top of it. There's some fear, some form of fear, not feeling safe, not feeling cared for.
These future thoughts that feel very true and very real about where we're going to live and income.
Well, this is a journey of trust, you know, because nobody knows anything about the future. So we need to release the future, even the next day, even the next hour, even the next minute, actually. We need to release.
Yeah, that's what I'm struggling with, because I think, like, yeah, well, where I'm at right now is like, at what point, you know, at what level does the money get?
Yeah, I feel the Holy Spirit does have a plan. You aren't left alone. And we all have to hand over our relationships, our kids, and even ourselves, we have to hand over to spirit.
And I feel like it's about readiness, and I'm not ready. I'm just not absolutely not ready. No.
But how can you not be ready for what is here and now? You know, it's just here and now. It's not about the future.
I just feel like my job to keep them safe.
Yeah, so a lot of fear has come up.
Yeah. And you're doing your job. They are safe. They've got a roof over their head, got food to eat, clothes to wear. You're doing great.
Yeah. Did they accept your NIA number, the books?
Yeah. I just didn't even send a picture of the card. I just sent the number and they accepted it. It was
That's all we needed.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then even the printer, like I sent the printer back that wasn't working, the second-hand one. And then his friend's mum just said, "Oh, I've got one. You can have them." That. Yeah, I feel like I have the message today has been just to look for all the ways I am worthy. You know, keep building that evidence, not. But yeah, eased a little bit just from talking. It just keeps coming up really strong and scary.
Yeah. You've probably been carrying these feelings with you your whole life.
Yeah.
And you're just letting yourself feel them now.
Yeah.
Even that, being reminded of that makes it a little bit easier. You know, it's not actually about the circumstances, it's just to be released.
That's it.
Yeah. I feel like I get myself in a bit of a pickle as well with like fear is guilt. And this feels like a familiar pattern where I'm really saying to Holy Spirit, like, just let me get in touch with the guilt so I can release it. Because I can't, when it's fear like this, I can't really see.
Yeah, but you are in touch with the fear. That's okay. You don't need to always see the whole metaphysical story. You can just let the feelings be here.
Yeah.
There is more awareness that it's temporary. You know, it's not gonna be.
Yeah.
I could go even a step further and say the fact that you're feeling all these feelings is like really big progress. That these are places you wouldn't have let yourself feel in the past. So good job.
Yeah, I can see how these they come up strong when I do put those like solution finding aside, you know, like, oh, this is where I rely on my own strength and I kick into action. And if I don't do that, it almost feels even worse.
Well, you're learning to rely on a much greater power. A power that doesn't fail. It cannot fail.
I don't know what to do.
Can't hear you very well, Lori.
Your
You
knees.
say I don't have the answers and I don't know what to do. You know.
And that's good. You can allow that place, allow even how that feels. I don't know what to do. Allow it. It's a little scary, but
It probably is, you know, it triggers other triggers as well, like when you said about going back earlier. Yeah, I'm just like thinking that me and Eva just why I just don't understand. It's this that always comes up as well, like not understanding. I don't understand why I would want to do that. I don't want to be in England. I've got nowhere to go. It would, you know, the rent's paid here.
yeah, I don't, we can just see what feels guided, you know. Maybe it is to stay.
I know you weren't saying that like a definite, it's just to be prayerful around it, but that has brought up some fear that yeah, I don't want to go back unless we absolutely have to.
It's okay. Thank you, Laurie. Yeah. I like the image of the baby, you know, the Holy Spirit does have us. Like we are little babies. We don't know. We think we want things under control, but there is no control, you know. Give over the control to God and trust. It's beautiful. It may look scary or we don't know what the future is going to be, but God has a plan. God has a plan. And even Jesus says that he is in charge of the plan of atonement. I think that's awesome. He's got it. He's got us. Even to just pray and say, I want to take my next step. I want to take one step at a time. Holy Spirit, what is my next step? And then trust what comes. Okay. Is there any other sharing before I play the song?
I just kept asking whether I should say this, but for some reason, I'm remembering when I was with you in Ireland, and it was around guilt. And it just seems helpful for me to remember. There was a woman who said that she was going to get a new dog for the family, and her husband had told her not to get a scruffy one. You can get anything you want, but not a scruffy one. And she went to the dog rescue and she saw this scruffy dog and she felt that she couldn't take it. And she said something that she felt guilt about that for years or something. And I remember you saying to her, it's because you think you know something. I don't know if you remember saying that, but it was just, so I remember saying to you, oh, anytime I feel guilty then, is that just because I think I know something? It's almost like, oh, something else should have happened. I think I knew that, and therefore I make myself feel guilty. And that was in my mind. It just came to me, and for some other reason, the other image that's coming to me is when David would sing, and he said that there's some song that would say, "Oops, I made a mistake. You're beautiful, you're beautiful." And it's like, I don't know. And I kept thinking, why would I share those two things? And I thought, oh, I won't. And then Jenny keeps saying, is there any more sharings? And I thought, okay.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for reminding me of that story with this woman with the dog. I remember now. Yeah. Yeah, she'd been so hard on herself for years. And yeah. It is that idea that we think we know what should have happened. Then we torture ourselves sometimes. But how can we know? We have to release that idea. That's a quicker way to get happy.
Oops, I made a mistake. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Oops, I made a mistake. You're beautiful to me.
Yeah, that was not the song I heard to play, but
It's a good one too.
Okay, here it is.
Know you are loved, rest in peace, dream your sweet dreams, till your soul is released. Know you are loved, rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Beloved child, my heart is yours. Beloved child, with your faith, with your compassion, with your grace, oh, with your grace. Beloved child, you are the light of the world. Beloved child, go out, spread light to the world. Be strong, be kind, be brave. Know your It's alright, don't be afraid. Know that you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Dhan dhan Guru Ramdas, dhan dhan Guru Ramdas, dhan dhan Guru Ramdas, dhan dhan Guru Ramdas. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released. Know you are loved. Rest in peace. Dream your sweet dreams till your soul is released.
Know you're loved. Just know you're loved. No matter what little doubt thoughts come in, still loved. What if we realize that, how loved we are? And how much we can love. And let's dream our sweet waking dream. Okay.
Love you all.